What is going on, everyone? It is springtime at the farm today, and so we're going to be showing you just how simple it is to prune up your plums, because we want to prune them before they start breaking dormancy. And it's a perfect day to do that today. It's a nice cool day, still dormant. It's dry, no rain in the forecast. It's a great day to be doing some pruning. So that's what we're going to do today. Hope you guys are going to enjoy. Sit back, hope you learned something. Let's get going. So before we get started pruning up this plum here, the first thing you want to go for is you want to go for a modified central leader. Now, there'll be people out there saying you should be pruning to an open center. And this is kind of one of those cases, just like apples, you can choose one or the other. For us, the shape of this tree and the way that we have these kind of densely planted and close to each other, an open center really takes up a lot of space. For a home garden, that might be better for you. It's going to open up the center, allow for good airflow. It's going to allow for more sunlight penetration to ripen the fruit. But for us, because it takes up quite a lot of space, we prefer to go, when we can, to a modified central leader. And that means that we are basically following this main trunk all the way up, and then basically one of these is going to become a new central leader all the way up. And we're going to have basically 3 levels to our modified central leader. We have this base layer here, we have this secondary layer here, and then we will have a third layer capping it out at right around 11 to 12 feet tall when it's fully grown. So that is the modified central leader, rather than an open center, which is where we'd take this part right out. We'd take this part right out, and we'd keep these branches. It'd be super low to the ground, goblet shape, and that kind of decides that you have to kind of decide which shape you want to go for and what you prefer. Ultimately, both are going to be okay with plums. If it were peaches, different story altogether. Go check out our peach pruning video, but peaches are only open center. With plums, they're still in the stone fruit family, but you have a little more forgiveness with kind of your pruning style. So once you kind of decide which pruning style you want to go for us, we're going with the modified central leader. The first thing we want to prune is any upward growth. Anything growing straight up that's going to kind of collide with the other canopies or create shade, we want to prune that out. So we're going to prune out the upward growth, just like that, just like that. You can leave some spurs. If you have some fruit spurs, you can leave those because those are going to give you fruit. But ultimately, anything upward, you want to prune those out. Stuff that's too sharp of an angle, you want to prune those out. Or underneath, this is completely underneath this branch here. It's just going to get shaded, so I'm going to prune that out as well. Now, this is coming up. I'm going to prune that out to an outward bud, get some outward growth there, kind of build out this layer. This one here, I'm going to prune that to a flower bud, to a spur, so that we can get some fruit production. And then, these are kind of crisscrossing here. So we got some issues where this branch is crossing this branch. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to prune. I'm going to prune that back right to there. It's better. So now this is coming out this way. And then we want to prune anything that's facing down, anything pointing down to the ground, because it's just going to get shaded. So for instance, this right here, pointing down towards the ground. This one is pointing up. We can get that one. Let's see if there's anything else pointing down. I don't see anything else pointing down. Actually, this one right here is pointing right down towards the ground. We're going to get that one gone as well. This one is pointing up towards the sky. I'll prune that to a bud, so that we can get some fruit production. And then this right over here is underneath this branch, and we're gonna get that one. And then there's one more right here that I didn't see. There we go. Okay. So next, this branch right here, we have a branch and a branch. I'm gonna prefer to prune off the top one so we can keep that outward growth forming. Next, what I'm going to do, because our branches are really long, these are very, very long here, we want to reduce the height or reduce the length of these branches. So what I'm going to do is, this is all last year's growth, all this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off about 40% of each of these branches here to a lateral bud. So I want a bud that's going to grow out and create kind of a shape like this. because then what that's going to do is it's going to give us a really good sturdy branch with lots of lateral growth that then can host fruit on it. So I'm cutting them back, kind of creating a heading cut to divert energy to create some more branches and more fruiting spurs that are going to give us more yield later on. Coming up here, this one is a little bit low, a little pointed down, so I'm going to prune that. I'm going to take that back. Some of these ones here are just a little bit too upright, so I'm going to prune those out. And then what I'm going to do is finishing up here with this tree. This one is pretty upright as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of terminate those tips to an outward facing bud to encourage that branching that we're looking for. Go just like that. And I think that is just about it with this tree. Prune there, right there, and that's going to encourage that growth. Anything that is dead, dying, or diseased should go as well. If it has been scuffed or scraped, it's ultimately going to be an open spot for insects or disease to get in. So it's better just to cut it out. Something that might have just died over the winter or kind of gotten cut off. Sometimes a lower branch that gets shaded out, the tree will just say, you have no way of producing energy for me. I'm going to cut you out and kind of stop giving energy to it. So that'll die over time. It's good to prune that out as well. And that kind of opens up the center of this tree. It opens up this main central leader here. It's going to clean that up, giving us just only prioritizing these lateral kind of layers here. So we have our first layer, as you can see, our second layer, as you can see, and then over time, we're going to prioritize one of these to continue to grow up, and that's going to be our third layer. So that seems like about it for this tree. Let's jump over to one more tree. We'll do one more example, and we'll finish up. So we're at a new plum tree here. This is a Mount Royal plum. We're going to prune this one up. There's a lot going on here. It's very busy. And so usually this is kind of where mistakes can happen, simply because when it comes to kind of beginning pruners, or people that are new to pruning, I should say, it gets really overwhelming, and that's kind of where you get a little bit almost overstimulated. It's just, there's a lot of noise here, right? But ultimately, if you can just cut through the noise and look at, again, choosing your pruning style. We talk all the time we talk about choosing your pruning style. Are you going with a modified center leader, or are you going with an open center? That reduces probably 75% of the noise right then and there. Because if we were going with an open center, which is that goblet, low goblet shape, knee height, you have your lateral branches growing up and out, we would literally take a saw and we would chop it off, taking out 60% of this tree, leaving all these lower lateral branches, and then anything upward crossing, dead, dying, diseased, and you're done. That, I know it sounds simple. In the moment it's overwhelming. It's a lot easier said than done. Since we're going with a modified central leader, we want to follow this main leader from the trunk all the way up, avoiding this noise. This is noise right here. So we're going to come, this has our tag on it, but we got to prune this out because this is kind of becoming a central leader of its own here. There we go. Just gonna cut that out, and I'll move the tag to a different branch because, again, it was just kind of, I said, it was kind of noise. It was in the way. Now we can clearly see our levels now that that big branch is out of the way, and it gives us a much clearer idea for what we want to go for, which is that modified central leader. We want our 2 to 3 levels. And as one of my orcharding or orchardist mentors taught me, they're like levels or floors on your house. You want to live comfortably, and so comfortably is usually like 8 to 9 foot ceilings. You don't want to be ducking under there, because then you're going to get a kinked neck and you're going to be like in a crawl space. You don't live in a crawl space. So you want your fruit to live comfortably as well. And so you don't want there to be too too many branches stacked on top of each other. You want your nice layers. So you've got about a 2-foot gap here in between your bottom layer and your top layer. Then it comes up and you're gonna get another layer about 2 feet. The only thing you keep are fruiting spurs. Fruiting spurs will be only like 2 to 3 inches long. They'll never really fully develop. Coming up here, we have a lateral branch going straight up to the sky. We don't want that. We're gonna prune that to an outward growing branch. We have another branch growing into the center of the tree. We don't want that. We want layers that grow out. Coming over here, we've got 2 stacked branches. We've got a stacked branch and a stacked branch. Personally, this lower branch has much more going on for it. There's fruiting buds, fruiting buds, fruiting buds, fruiting buds. I'm gonna come in here and take this branch out completely because it's stacked on top of one another. All it's going to do is create shade and friction. Shade will reduce fruit ripening. It will reduce foliage and how much energy the tree can generate, but it will also create rubbing and chafing, which can ultimately wear away the bark, causing there to be wounds, which are more likely to get disease and pest pressure. Same thing over here, we have a branch and a branch. So we're going to decide which one we want. And because we want kind of layers on the tree, I'm going to pick this top one again because this lower layer here, it's really consistent. I have another stacked branch. I'm going to pick the top one again. Just kind of the theme here. And then, you know, I've got another stacked branch right on top of each other. It rarely happens where there's so many stacked branches, but this one had not been pruned yet, and that's how the cookie crumbled. So what I've got is I've got a stacked branch and a stacked branch. Now, I could pick the lower branch, but this branch right here, the lowest branch, I think I'm going to take that one out. And the reason why is because it's got a little bit of a damaged spot here. That's ultimately, I'd have to cut that out. It would shorten the branch. And then ultimately, because we had a deer get in here and nibbled on some of these buds here, even though we have a deer fence, we still got a couple deer that come in every once in a while. Got some lower damage here. And since it's lower to the ground, heavy fruit yields are gonna bring it real far down close to the ground where you have more pressure from rodents, you know, mice, squirrels, raccoons, and whatnot. They're just right near the base of the ground. So we're gonna keep branches typically, again, kind of knee height, and that one was a little lower than knee height. And ultimately, all we're looking for is that nice, beautiful shape of kind of a taper coming down from the top down to the bottom, getting, you know, narrower at the top, wider at the bottom, kind of like a Christmas tree. Anything growing into the center, cleaning it up, stuff that's growing up or straight down, crisscrossing, dead, dying, diseased. It's all the same. It's all the same, but from tree to tree, they all look a little different. You know, every tree is going to grow differently. And that's one of the things that I think is really fascinating about these is that they're not manufactured, right? So we just have to go by these rules, apply the rules to the best of our ability so that we have the healthiest tree possible. But each and every time you approach a tree, it's going to be different. Even from year to year, it's going to be different. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you'll learn something new. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and also make sure to stay patient. If you're here for the gardening content, I've always said you can have a plum tree in your garden. You can have fruit trees in your garden. This is still gardening related content, despite the fact we're growing these on a bigger scale than most people have in their garden. But we also have so much more gardening content coming out. I'm so excited about it. We're gonna have an absolutely amazing garden this year. So if you're here for the gardening content, you're here for the fruit tree content, just stay patient, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. We have so much more content coming out, and I just appreciate you guys coming along on this amazing journey with me. So as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. We'll catch you guys later. See ya, bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care. Bye.